And here is Teresa Harding. Good morning, you guys. Hello, I'm so excited to see you here. And it's fun to see some faces up there. I see a couple of you on the video screen are chicken to have your faces up there. I totally get it because it depends on the kind of morning it is. Sometimes it's one of those hair days where it's a hat morning, right? So today I actually had time to get ready this morning before we started. I'm super excited. I love the Zoom calls because I get to see your faces. No pressure, but love to see you guys up there. But I am excited about our topic today. And first, I want to thank Chelsea because she is amazing. I could not do this without her. And I want you guys to get to know her more and more. So every time we do these conference calls, she'll be the one that's on there. And maybe sometimes some of my other staff welcoming you, letting you know who they are so that as you call in and are trying to get things accomplished with me and my team, that you'll feel a connection with them. You'll know who they are. So I am excited for convention. How many of you are excited for convention? This is going to be fun. I can't wait. I always learn so much. I've been doing this a very long time, and I have so much to learn. You know how it is. The more you learn, the more you realize that you don't know. And so it's exciting to get to go and hear from the experts, hear from people who have different expertise than I do. And so it's very, very important that you go to convention. So I'm going to give you some bullet points that will help you get more out of convention. Now, for those of you who are on this call who weren't planning to go to convention, don't have a ticket, I'm going to encourage you to go. One of two reasons. There are a lot of reasons, but it boils down to this. Number one, if you are not a business builder and you just love the oils, I am telling you, you will learn more how to use the oils than you can even imagine. There are some, you'll learn from scientists who sometimes are over our heads, and you'll learn from people who are laymen, or even, doctors and scientists who can speak in layman terms. You are going to learn all across the board, but I can promise you, if all you care about is the products and learning how to use them for your family, you are going to leave being empowered and know how to use them. Okay, so go to convention. The second thing is, if you are a business builder, I will tell you this. When I first started with doTERRA, I did not want to go to convention the first year because I did not like network marketing, and I was in it to help people with the oils. I had fallen in love with the oils. Those of you who know my story know that I saw the oils significantly help my niece with some neurological problems that she was having that the medications were not helping with. I could not believe it and started doing research, got involved with the oils, sucked right in, and absolutely loved them. And so I dismissed the fact that it was network marketing. I just didn't love it. In fact, I hated it. And we don't use that word in our house. So that's kind of a big deal for me to say that. But I will tell you, I have fallen in love with network marketing. But because of my attitude, I didn't want to go to convention. I thought it was going to be a bunch of hype about how rich everybody is and how you can win cars and wear gold chains. And I kind of call it the chain gang, okay? I thought that's what it would be like, and I can't stand that. But I talked to the owners because at the time, that's kind of all there was. It was the owners and us. And so that's who we asked questions of. And so I've been very lucky to get to become friends with them. And I can ask very hard questions. In fact, at the beginning, I kind of called myself the problem child because I know I kind of was for them because I would always ask hard questions. I was not about following the status quo. I wanted to help people. I wanted to be involved in something that was different. And this is what they told me. They said, Teresa, they said, you go to convention. They said, this will not be like any other company. We do not do all the hype. You will see that it is completely different than what you are imagining. We will never be like that. And they said, and let me tell you this, they said, in our experience, the people who go to convention, those are the teams that explode. And I can promise you that that is what happened. And I had learned to trust them. I trust the owners. Their hearts are in the right places. They are constantly trying to do what is best. They're trying to keep the feeling of a small company while yet we're a billion-dollar company. Now we're the biggest essential oil company in the world. Do you know that we are one of the top network marketing companies in the world? And we've done it faster than any other company. So for them to try to keep that feel is not easy, but they never stop making that a focus. And I love that. So I went to convention, And can I tell you, it's a beautiful thing. You learn so much. The feeling is amazing. The culture is awesome. In fact, you learn about the humanitarian aid that we're doing, the things that doTERRA is doing around the world to help different communities and groups, to help them help their people. It is unbelievable. In fact, you go wanting to learn about the oils, and you learn about being a bigger and a better person in ways that you didn't imagine. Okay, I can't believe I'm getting emotional. So, but it truly is a beautiful thing. And sometimes you leave going, oh my goodness, this is, I wanted to learn more about the oils. I wanted more information on the oils, but you can't complain because what you learned and what you gained is so big and so beautiful. And this company doesn't talk about how rich you can get. They talk about how we need to be responsible with our finances and get out of debt. They're creating so many people with money. And the attitude is that money actually, it's like pouring fire. It's like pouring fire starter on your weaknesses and your strengths. So the goal, yes, we would love to make money. But one thing that Dave Sterling says, who's the president of doTERRA, I heard him say this quote, and I've never forgotten. It's one of my favorites now. He said, we need more good people who make a lot of money, because good people will do amazing things with it. And that's what we need. So don't feel bad if you're in this for the business. Don't feel bad if you're not in it for the business, okay? But I will tell you, that is the feel that you get at convention. And it's not just to go there to get motivated, to get a feel. It's you learn so much, okay? So I have some pointers for you that I've written down, and I'm going to share those with you and teach you some things that you can do. And some of these are probably things you've already thought of, and some of them are things that hopefully will be new ideas that will help spark some ideas in you. So I'm going to challenge you to take notes during this meeting. I want you to be able to remember the things we talked about and review them through convention. Hello, we're sitting there 8, 9, 10 hours a day, okay? You can kind of review some notes, all right? So let me kind of share with you what those are. And I'm still getting some texts from people who are wanting to get on the call. Chelsea's working on that, trying to open it up to more. We're supposed to have enough room for hundreds. So I'm not sure why I cut it off at 50. But these Zoom calls are getting bigger and bigger. We want to be able to make room for thousands, because doTERRA has millions of people. I have more than 2 million people on my team alone. And doTERRA is massive.
2 million people on her team?
And all teams, okay?
Huh?
We can hear someone in the background, so if you'll mute yourself, please, that would be awesome. And let me make sure. Yeah, that's great. Thank you. Now I can't hear you. So we muted everyone, so just kind of leave it that way. At the end, we'll open it up for questions, okay? So number one, it's important to play together. That's one of the things you need to do at convention. We work. We work hard. If you're building the business, we work hard together. And a lot of times we're dealing with things on our team that are not easy to deal with. We're dealing with people's feelings and issues and concerns and how to help someone. And we get excited. We share our joys, but we also share the frustrations of building a business. Anything that you do for work. I don't care if you're a waitress. I don't care if you are Bill Gates. You are going to have frustrations in your work. And not to say that spread matters. None of that spread matters at all. It doesn't matter. But you are going to have hard
chickens. Call myself chicken schedule.
Yeah, I can hear someone talking about chicken.
All week.
Can you mute yourself, please?
Because I knew it was coming up.
Okay, I'm going to mute all again. Okay.
All right, I'll talk to you later.
Feedback, because I've muted everyone. And then let me try something. That's unmuted. Okay. So hopefully that will fix it. Okay. So it's very important that you play together. So some people come and they're just going to go to convention, but I'm going to challenge you to go to the street party. On Thursday night, there's a street party. Don't go back to your room and go, oh, I'm tired. Yes, you're tired, but you paid to come to convention. You came to have these experiences, and the play time is just as important as the work time. In fact, sometimes it can be even more important. So go to the street party, enjoy yourselves. Doesn't mean you have to stay up all hours of the night. If you want to, fine, stay up till 2 in the morning. But go enjoy your time with your team, okay? So number 2, I'm going to challenge you to take notes. Take notes. Now, some people take so many notes that they can't even hear everything because they're so busy writing everything. Don't do it like that. I'm going to challenge you to do it like this. What I want you to do is I want you to be watching convention, listening to everything, but I don't want you to try to write down everything they say. There are going to be things you want to write down because you want to take it back to your team. If there's something you hear that's powerful, great. Write it down, try to record it, whatever is best for you. But in general, overall, aside from those things, I want you to listen carefully and listen for the things that it makes you feel. So for example, if somebody's teaching about discipline, and you might be learning great things about discipline, but you might have a thought, oh my goodness, I just realized that Susan on my team needs extra love right now. And I've been so focused on discipline that I'm realizing she needs something else. You see what I'm saying? You know how sometimes you have those thoughts that aren't necessarily exactly what they're talking about. I want you to listen for those thoughts. And when you have those, that is your personal inspiration. I want you to write those down because those are things you can take back and that will really help your team grow. Okay? I want you to go to the gala if you can. That has been sold out for a long time. If you have tickets, do not be one of those people who at the last minute you're tired and, oh, now I'm so busy. I finally got here. I didn't realize I'd be so tired. I'm not going to go after all. I am telling you, gala does something very psychological. It is awesome. Two things need to happen at the gala. Number one, it's important for you to see other people succeed and help yourself to be happy for them. If you're the one that kind of, because sometimes it's hard, you see other people do that and you're thinking, you covet it. You think, man, I wish that was me. Or you think of the frustrations about why you didn't reach it this year or the unfair things. I want you to go to gala and I want you to be excited and happy for the people around you. Be the person that is happy when other people succeed. Because that when you're happy and positive, it motivates you. I'll tell you what, there was one year I did not rank before I was presidential. I think I had skipped a couple ranks and I'd ranked and I'd been doing great. And the year was crazy and busy and I got to convention the next year and I hadn't ranked. And that's okay. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I made sure that my priorities were in order. That's all right. But I'll tell you what it did when I went to gala. I watched that stage and I was happy for them. But I thought, this will not happen again. I will rank next year. It does something inside. And whether, like for me, I tend to compare myself to me. I tend to have super high standards. Doesn't matter what anyone else is doing. I make these high standards that are almost impossible for me to reach. But it doesn't depress me when I don't reach them. It motivates me and makes me think, okay, I got that far. I almost reached it. So now I can do this next thing. It's totally okay if you're not that type. If you're the type of person that if the goal is too high and you don't reach it and it's depressing, then don't do it that way. Do it in the way that works for you. When I start working with a new person, I don't try to have them do it the way I do it. I find out what excites you. Does it excite you if the goal is too high and you didn't reach it? Or does that depress you? Because once I know what matters for them, now I know how to help them. So if they're the type that doesn't work for them to set the goals too high, do you think we do that? No. We set goals that are very reachable and we start to figure out if maybe if it wasn't high enough, that's great. I'd rather have a goal that's making them reach, but it's lower than they could do than to have them get depressed because they couldn't do it. So think about what kind of person you are and what works for you and do it that way, okay? So the next thing I want to talk about is I want you to have some time where you're reflecting and making sure that you're humble. Go to convention humble. Be ready to learn. Because if you go to convention and the entire time you're thinking, gee whiz, I hope my leader listened to that because she sure has a problem with that. Or gee whiz, I hope that one leader, he never listens to me when I try to tell him that. I hope he was listening. Okay, then if you have issues on your team, I can tell you right now, you're the problem. Because if you find yourself doing that, you got to start looking at you. Be ready to go to convention looking at you, not beating yourself up. It's easy to do that. A good leader doesn't beat themselves up, but they can face the reality, they face the truth, and go, wow, I need to learn that. I need to learn something about that because we're having some problems on our team. Okay. Now, we all have the excitement and the joy. The essential oils are awesome. How many of you have had situations where you help someone with their health and it changes their life? How many of you has it changed your life? That's probably why you're on this call, because it changed your life and it made you want to help other people the same way. So don't forget that. That's what we're here for. But sometimes as your team gets bigger, and some of you are going, gee, I wish I had that problem. I wish my team was bigger. That's fine. Those things will come. But it gets to a point where you're so busy managing people, and people are human, and human emotions are hard. And so you're dealing with those things. And I promise you, you'll go away from convention learning new ways to handle things, being a better person if you will go humble. Be humble, be open. And every time, watch for yourself. During convention, every time you start thinking, I hope so-and-so is listening because they have that problem, realize you're doing a couple of things. You are being judgmental. You're being arrogant because you're assuming that it's nothing to do with you. If you will be a leader and take responsibility and go, okay, maybe there's a better way that I can learn some skills to help this person. Maybe I'm handling it in a way that isn't the best. So go to convention trying to learn those things. And even if there isn't a topic about, like, let's say you have a leader who complains a lot and you cannot figure out how to get them to stop. There might not be a class on how to get your leaders to stop complaining. But I can promise you there will be a class that when you go to it, if you're listening to your feelings and your intuition, you will have some thoughts and you'll learn skills that will help you deal with every situation you have on your team. Okay? The next thing I want you to think about is I want you to have your team leaders in mind before you go to convention. Don't wait till convention. You've got a good week right now. What I want you to do is start thinking of your team leaders. If you're, whatever your method of meditation is, do that. Use that. Even if you don't have time this week to sit and, cross your legs and do the whatever you like to do. Whatever you don't have time for, do whatever little you can. So if all you can do is be thinking about it as you're going about getting ready to go to convention this week, okay, what I want you to do is I want you to be thinking of the things that are exciting for them, how your leaders work, what they need from you, and how you can be a better leader. Now, if your issue has been that you are so involved with your leaders that you are not putting your priorities in order, you're one of the leaders I want you to think about. Well, you should be one of the leaders you're thinking about anyway. I want you to think about the things that you have concerns about. I'm not spending enough time with my kids. I am not making sure that I follow through with my leaders. Whatever it is that is your thing, I'm not making sure I have time for my spouse. I'm not making sure I have time for my grandkids. Whatever. You think about those things and be coming to convention planning to get some answers for some of those concerns that you have, because you will find answers for those things. I want you to talk to your team leaders beforehand, even if it's just a text. Sometimes I get bogged down because I think I want to call my leader and I want to have a half-hour conversation because they're so important. I don't want them to think that I don't have time for them. So I don't want it to just be a 5-minute conversation. But guess what? Not calling for 3 months because you don't have time for a half-hour conversation is going to be a lot worse. If you call them for 5 minutes once a month or once a week or whatever it is they need, or I text them periodically, they're going to feel a lot more cared about, right? They're going to feel like, well, she's thinking about me a lot. So do that. Don't feel like it has to be some long thing. You don't need to have a big conversation with every leader this week. You probably don't have time. I don't have time. Okay? Text them and say, hey, as we're getting ready for a convention, I'd like you guys to think about some of the concerns that you have with what you're doing. So do it with each of your individual leaders, and then I want you to do a group text, because the group text is going to be fun during convention. So in the group text, what I want you to do is say, hey, what are some things on our team that we want to think about working on? And, let's make sure that we keep this constructive. We want this to be a positive thing, not negative. But everybody give your input, and let's narrow it down to a couple of things that we really want to learn how to do better on our team. And again, be humble, because what you get back might be, I'd like to work on making sure that our team works more together, that we get input from everyone. And you might sit there thinking, oh my goodness, that's what I do all the time. I'm always asking for their input. But if you get that response from your team, that's a red flag that tells you that they're not feeling like their input is listened to, or that they're getting to have input. I've had a leader, and I've had this more than once. I'll give you an example. A leader that I was working with who lives in the United States, and she was always asking her leader for input. She was so good at reaching out to her leaders, but she always did what her idea was. Do you think they feel heard? Do you think that might have been one of the concerns that they had for the team? And they would come to me concerned and saying, she acts like she wants to include us all, but then she wants to be in control, and she wants to be the one that has the idea and who follows what she wants to do. She already has her idea in mind, and she's not planning to work with us. Okay, so if you get responses back from your team, be humble and think, okay, how are they getting this message? Because I did not think that was the message I was sending. Okay, so take it seriously, the things that your leaders say. And again, it might be a leader who you feel like, well, they're always griping about something. Well, if they're always griping about something, something's missing. Somehow, either you're lacking in ways to train them to stop doing that, or somehow there isn't motivation to stop doing that. And you're not in control of other people. You can't change them unless they want to be changed. But I can tell you, a really good leader, as you learn the correct skills, you'd be amazed at how you can help people to change. Because a good leader is someone who people want to follow. A great leader is someone who creates other great leaders. So learn how to be that. And you can. And for you to even be to the point where you're on this call, the initiative you're taking to do this, you're already that kind of leader in some ways. There are probably other ways that we can learn to be better leaders. Oh my goodness, can I just tell you how often I learn from my leaders how I can be better. So if I wasn't humble, the times when I'm not humble, guess what? I go crying to my husband and say, well, I do this and this, and oh my goodness, I can't believe they think that. But when I get humble again, I go, okay, what can I be doing better? And all of a sudden things start to change. And my relationship with that leader changes because I'm being humble. It changes everything, okay? When you go to convention, some people have the attitude, oh my goodness, I gotta live my best. I gotta spend, a ton of money on clothes. I've gotta look this way and that. How should I dress? Because I should dress up. I should be professional. And other people are like, you know what? I could care less what people think. I'm wearing my pajamas and I don't care. Well, guess what? Be professional. Care what you look like. Take some time to be professional. That doesn't mean you've got to wear a suit and a tie or dress up in a dress. It doesn't matter. But take some effort on your appearance because you feel differently. I'm telling you, if you come in pajamas, your attitude is going to be a lot different than if you take a little bit of time to come ready for convention. You'll be excited. You'll be ready. You'll want to talk with other people, but take a little bit of effort, but when you get there, forget about you. Forget about what you look like. Forget if your hair is okay. Assume that your leaders will tell you if there's something in your teeth. Quit worrying about you and worry about the people around you. Okay, so your goal at convention is to care more about them than you care about you. Once you get there, it's about them. And that means that another one of my points is go meet new people. Don't let their rank scare you away, but be thoughtful too. Because I love it when people come up, whether they're on my team or not, and they introduce themselves to me and they're excited about something that I trained on, or they have more questions about something. Totally do that. But don't be the person that the only ones you care about are the high-ranking leaders. Meet new people all around you. And if they're different than you, great. Don't be annoyed. Find out more about them. Make new friends, because I'll tell you what, some of my best mentors have been people that I would have never met. They're not on my team. They're not under me. Some of my dearest friends in doTERRA are on my team and people I've worked with, but some are people like Lil Shepherd, Wendy James, Daniel Benitez and his wife. These are people who are not on my team. I'm one of Justin's frontline leaders. These guys are also Justin's frontline leaders. I have learned so much from them. And I'm a better leader because I know them, okay? And did we have any rank at the beginning? No. I'll tell you what, I remember conversations where we would sit there talking about, man, we were brand new and doTERRA was just starting. We said, can you imagine if we were making $500 a month? I can't even imagine what that would be like. And we would dream about how that would be awesome. And we had all these goals. We would talk about it and we would share our ideas with each other. And when we'd come up with something that worked, we'd text it to the other person. I remember Wendy James, you know how we do the family physician class? Wendy James is the one who came up with that from the very beginning. And she started it and it was working awesome. So she gave copies to all of us and said, this is what we're doing. Oh my goodness, people love it. And then I remember later we'd get together and we're making over $500 a month. And we'd say, oh my goodness, can you even believe this? Can you imagine when we're making $1,000 a month? That's going to be huge. I can't even believe it. And then we would talk about our dreams. When we hit that goal, we'd be, oh my goodness, this is working. People love the oils. Can you imagine when we're at $5,000 a month? I can't even imagine. That's going to be so huge. I mean, it was fun. We got to do it together. So get to know people of all ranks. They're going to be your mentors. They're going to be your buddies that you are, your accountability partners. They're going to be the people who help you. So make sure that you make them a part of it. Okay, I'm going to give you a specific challenge. I want you to try to meet 2 new people every day. Not people who walked up to you and met you. Can you imagine if everyone at convention did this? This alone would help maintain the culture of doTERRA. And we talk now as if we are the guardians of our culture. And I'll tell you what, when we get in those meetings where the presidential diamonds are meeting together, or the diamonds and above, or the silvers and above, I'll tell you what, this topic always comes up, that we are the guardians of our culture. Because do you think we can just assume that the 7 owners are going to be the ones who make sure it stays that way? Sorry, they can't do it by themselves. It's got to be us. We are the guardians of the culture. Can you imagine if we all go meet 2 new people and truly ask deep questions of them? And if all you can do is say hi, and I get it, for some people this is really hard. So if you just say hi and introduce yourself, if that's really good for you, that's good enough. But if it's easy for you to talk to people, then get past the shallow. I always say there are necessary shallow questions at the beginning. Hi, what's your name? Where are you from? Those are all necessary, and they're fun to know, and they're good to ask. But after you get past the shallow questions, I want you to ask some deeper questions. After you get to that point where you've asked them what they do, or do you do doTERRA full time, you get to that point where it now becomes a little bit awkward. Okay, well, it was kind of good to meet you. Okay, well, bye. You kind of don't know what to say next. That's where I want you to ask at least a couple of deeper questions. So when you say, what do you do for a living? They say, well, I'm a manny. I'm a man who's a nanny. Instead of going, oh, okay, I kind of don't know what to say to that. You say, oh my goodness, what is that like? That is uncommon for a man to be a manny. I bet you get some fun responses from people. Get to the deeper questions where you're getting to know them just a little bit. 2 people every day. You guys, it's only a few days. You can do this. Okay. Another hint is I want you to take pictures of the screens. And I don't care if you're the person who takes pictures of the screens and then you never look at them again. If there's something powerful that creates an emotion in you, take a picture of it. Okay. And I'm going to ask you to do a couple of things that might help you to actually use the pictures that you take, because some people are really good at using them later and some aren't. All right. Now, this is what I want you to do. At the end, there's another bullet point. At the end of each day, and I get that it's busy and you're meeting with your leaders, but when you meet with your leaders for dinner or you're doing whatever you need to do with them, say, okay, you guys, let's just take 5 minutes. I want everyone to take 5 minutes just for a second, and let's text our teams and let them know the things that touched us the most, or the most powerful thing you learned that day. It might be, and so if there's a picture that you took that you think, oh my goodness, I learned this about peppermint oil and I didn't know, and I think that my team would love to know this, send the information to them. But take 5 minutes. Don't take more than 5 minutes, because if you try to take a half hour to do this whole explanation as if you're doing a brand new training for them, you'll stop doing it because you don't have time each day. And you can take 2 minutes if you need to. Just make it quick, okay? One of the things to think about is the venue is in 2 locations, as you know, and there's a 2-hour difference in time. So there are 2 buildings that people will be in, and a lot of people tried to get tickets for their team so they could all be in the same building. But you might have leaders who are not in the same building as you. If that's the case, guess what? Here's where that group text comes in, because now you can do the group text and say, oh my goodness, you guys, now don't give away the secret ending. Just because you're in the building where they come to you first, don't tell everybody else everything you already learned, because you're ruining it for the people who haven't done it yet. But say, oh my goodness, wait till you hear Dr. Hill today. It was phenomenal. You are going to love it. Do not miss it. Stuff like that. Okay. So don't give away the ending. Can I just tell you, I have an issue with people who tell me the ending of the movie while we're watching it before you get to the ending. Don't be that person. Let them have their own excitement too. Okay. Because the reason you're doing it, it's actually quite a selfish reason. that people give away an ending. It's because they're so excited about it. They think their intention is good. I'm so excited. I want to share that excitement with you, but it's that you got to have that excitement and you want to create that for someone else because it feels good. But let them have their own moment first and then share it together. Now, one thing that's going to be hard is if your team is in both locations, then their lunches are at different times, which is actually a good thing because the restaurants in Salt Lake cannot accommodate everyone at the same time. So you will be very glad you're waiting only an hour instead of 2 hours for lunch, okay? So what I want you to do is think about that. Be thoughtful. If there are 2 people at the other building and all of your team is with you, get excited with them. Share pictures of your lunch and say, you guys better send us pictures when you go out to lunch. Make it feel like you're together as much as you can, okay? We talked about going to the street party. That is important. That's Thursday night. Take time. This is another bullet point. Take time to go to the, what's it called? Where they have all of the products, the product showcase. Go to the product showcase. It's going to be busy, I know. And so it's hard to get there. Get there early. You'll be tired from the night before, but come early anyway. Because remember, just keep reminding yourself, convention's only a few days. Okay? Go to the product showcase. Take advantage of it. This is where they're going to have the new products, the old products. You can try things on. You can learn about things. They have so many staff members there who are there to answer questions for you. Be there, go to them, take advantage of them, and ask questions. And sometimes, I'll tell you what, you're going to learn some amazing things and think, wow, they know so much. And other times you think, oh my goodness, I know way more than they do. Well, good, you've been doing this. This isn't their job. But you're going to learn things from them, and you can also leave with your ego inflated, thinking, wow, I'm really good. Okay? Take advantage of that. Another thing I want you to do is be confident. This is huge. You're going to see so many people there that it's easy to sit back and fade into the background and kind of go to that, hello, I'm a confident person. But there are times I'm like, oh, I just want to be by myself. I'm just going to be the quiet one in the background. I don't have to be presenting, so I'm just going to sit back and relax. You know what? You'll have moments of that during convention. Fine. That's totally great. Be healthy about it. But have those times where you're being confident, you're reaching out and meeting new people. And so again, everybody's standard is different. If it's really hard for you to talk to anyone at all, then the fact that you even said hello and smiled at someone. I have someone on my team who seriously had become so introverted over the years and stayed in her house all the time with her kids and just kind of kept her life like that. She really loved doTERRA and she wanted to build the business, but it was hard for her to talk to people at all. So she and her husband, they made a goal that when they went to the grocery store, that they would actually look at people in the eyes. Instead of looking down and not paying attention to anyone, they would look at people and they would smile. And for her, I was super excited because that was awesome for them. So if that's you, that's great. But push yourself. Don't cheat yourself by going, yeah, that's me, when that's not really you. Okay? Put yourself out there. Do your best. Okay? Tour the campus. That's the next thing. Go on the campus tour. And what you need to do is you need to go to doTERRA.com/doTERRA. Oh, what's it called? doTERRA Zone. I can't even read this writing. So it's not doTERRA Zone. I'll figure that out. But if you go to doTERRA.com, then you will find the information about the convention, okay? And I want you to go there because it will tell you what is happening, what nights, and you'll start to get information about convention that will help you prepare like we're talking about, okay? Let's see if I'm missing anything. I think we've covered most things. The last thing I want to share with you is I want you to specifically be looking for ways that you can improve. We talked about this a lot, about not focusing on your leaders and what they need to change. But this whole convention, make it about, act as if this is something, act as if you were going to a Tony Robbins event where you're trying to learn how to be a better you. That's the attitude I want you to go to this convention with. I can promise you if you do, you will have more insightful thoughts that will help you be better. Outside of doTERRA, it will help you be a better leader. It will help you in ways that will make you face realities about things you really are or are not doing to grow your business. Because it's easy to go, well, I'm doing this and I'm doing this and I'm doing this, but nothing is changing. Well, then you're not doing it. I'll tell you one of the things that's the hardest for me to hear when I'm training someone. Oh, I already did that. Oh, I already did that. If I'm telling someone something that might be helpful, it's not because I'm just throwing it out and going, oh, well, you could try this and you could try this. You guys, I have a lot of experience. I have 10 years of experience, and I have made every stupid mistake that you can imagine. Do you think maybe I see some of those tendencies in my leader? Yes, I see those things, and I am trying to help them leapfrog across the pond so that they don't have to go through the same heartaches I did because I learned the hard way. So if you find yourself thinking, I already tried that, that is another huge red flag. If you do that, and I do that, I'll tell you, I do that for me. When I'm sitting at convention and I have things that I'm concerned about with my team or me or my relationship, if I'm not taking enough time with my family, whatever it is that I'm concerned about, having more balance in my life, I hear people say stuff. If I find myself going, yeah, I've tried that. Ooh, that's a red flag for me. I sit up and pay attention and go, I better start taking notes because I am not humble about this, and that's why I'm not learning. Okay, so make sure you're doing that for yourself. And then last but not least, go to your team party. Go to your team's party. They are fun, and you might think, oh, I've been 100 times. I don't care. If you're going with that attitude, what am I going to learn from this? I'm meeting new people everywhere I go. I am telling you, you're going to have a different experience. And all the team parties are important. Go to your team party. But I will end by saying, duh, come to my swim party. You're all invited to our party. It's gotten to the point where my leaders are so big that they're doing their own parties. Sometimes we have a big, huge party with everyone and we rent a venue, but we just finished our backyard. We have a sweet pool with rocks that you can jump off of, waterfalls that you can swim into the cave. You guys, it is awesome. And I'll tell you this, for me, that I'm realizing how important it is to play with my team. This is my chance to get to know you. It's my chance to get to meet you. It's your chance to come meet me. I would love for you to come. And we are having some really fun things planned. I'll tell you what, Chelsea and Roger have been behind the games and the events, and we have. I was behind the giveaways. I said, look, I want to give away something at least every 10 minutes. So when you come to the party, you are going to get a ticket to put your name on, and we may give you the opportunity to buy more. And when you buy more tickets, all of it goes to humanitarian aid. Every dime. Nothing goes to pay for the party. Nothing goes to anything except for humanitarian aid. So if you want to buy extra tickets, you can. When we draw the tickets and draw your name, every 10 minutes we're drawing a name and we're giving away prizes. And it's not going to be all lemon oil. Okay, I mean, that would be awesome if it was, but those are some of the cheapest oils, just so for those of you who may not know that. But we are giving away prizes like we're giving away myrrh, we're giving away immortelle, we're giving away peppermint, we're giving away lemon, and once every hour, one of the prizes, at least once an hour, one of the prizes will be a kit. The AromaTouch kit, maybe one of the big, huge kits. So we are giving away prizes like crazy because you know what? My team is so big, I don't know how to let you guys know how much I appreciate you. It's really hard to do that. And this is one way I can do that. And when you guys come and we're trying to do these special things for you, it's my way of saying thank you and letting you know how much I appreciate you. So come to the party. You do have to sign up. So go to teresaharding.com. You can find information about that. We're really working hard to get trainings up for all of you. And we're putting it on teresaharding.com. So go there to look in the trainings and resources tab. Everything in there is free so that you can have these trainings. We're recording all of these trainings. They're going to be up there as well. If you have any topics that you feel are really important, something that your team has just been struggling with, I don't care how minuscule it seems. We can have topics on big things like how to get more enrollments, but we can have topics on things like how do we deal with emotions with leaders on our team who are upset? I want to take care of my team, and I can't reach everybody unless we do it like this. So let me know if there are topics that you want to learn about, and we are going to start covering those. If you go to teresaharding.com, you'll see the next couple of months and the topics that we're going to cover. And I'm really excited about it. We're going to start adding in any trainings that you guys want. So thank you for coming. I'm going to unmute people. So, well, in fact, I'm going to let you guys unmute yourselves. Okay, I'm changing it so that everyone is muted. You can unmute yourselves individually, but if you unmute yourselves, please make sure your background is quiet. Okay? So we'll take a few questions. Okay, so Scott Gates, I see that you're raising your hand. You have a question? Go ahead.
I just wanted to say thank you for all you're doing for us, and help, let me know.
Thank you, Scott. I appreciate that very much. I sure love you guys. So, any other questions? Okay.
Teresa.
Connie is saying it's hard to be quiet. She's got kids at home. So go ahead and unmute yourself and quickly ask me your question, and then mute yourself again. Connie, when you're ready, ask me your question. Okay, how do I sign up for your party? You need to go to teresaharding.com. You know what? Chelsea has managed that. Let me grab her so she can tell us exactly where to go. Just one second. Chelsea? Help! Help! We need you. I can't do this by myself. She's coming.
What's wrong?
Okay, Chelsea, come join me. They want to know how to sign up for the swim party.
Okay, so the swim party is, you can find it also on teresaharding.com on the event section, and there's an Eventbrite link in there where you can sign up for free. However, you will want to do that today because we are getting full and we're going to be turning off registration either by the end of today or tomorrow. So be sure to get your team on there and get your spots. If you have any issues, go ahead and email Teresa at teresaharding@gmail.com, and I would love to help you.
Okay, thank you. And can you read that for me? I can't read it.
Oh,
let me just preface this. This is where you go to find information on convention. Okay.
So this isn't the actual URL, but if you type this in, it's a lot easier and it still directs you there. And it's doterra.com/doterra1. And that has all of the agenda, all the event information, everything that you'll possibly need for convention.
And you spell out the word one, O-N-E.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, so let me just recap. For the pool party, go to teresaharding.com. Across the top of the screen, one of the buttons you can choose, or it's not a button, but it's one of the words at the top that you can choose is events. So go to that and you'll find it in there. And
you guys are not going to want to miss out. Seriously, this is going to be the best party ever. So amazing.
Okay.
Sorry, can I ask a quick question? I'm just on your website now.
Yes.
And I went to events, and I'm at pre-convention pool party, but I don't see a link for an Eventbrite.
Okay, Chelsea will be looking that up.
Okay.
While she's looking that up, let me tell you, everyone who has signed up for the pool party, you're going to receive an email or a text that will, or maybe both, that will tell you some guidelines about what we're asking you to wear. Because you have to remember that I have people coming in from all over the world. Some people come from countries where they like to go topless, or, you know, people wear different types of things. So we want a certain atmosphere at our home. So we'll let you know exactly what you'd like to make sure that your attire is. It's pretty basic, but it'll be easy. So be looking for that. And
Teresa,
yeah, go ahead.
my name's Noelani, and I'm from Hawaii, but aloha. But I wanted to check, is the recording going to be sent? Are we able to have access to the recording?
Yes, this recording will be on teresaharding.com at training on the top, across the top. One of the choices is trainings and resources. So go in there, and we're getting it more and more organized. Right now, you might have to click around a little bit to find what you need, but we're going to have it set up so that it's Zoom calls, videos, you know, all different things. They're easy to find, and we're going to separate them out between business type trainings and essential oils and product information.
Mahalo, mahalo.
Okay, so to answer your question, sorry to interrupt, Teresa, because we did hit our max for the party. Our web developers took off the Eventbrite link, but because Teresa did talk about it to you today, I will open it back up just for today. So anyone who signs up today can still come. So be excited, but it's just because Teresa talked about it today. So
okay, good. So
Yay!
I'm glad you were on the call. And this is the deal. You are welcome to tell your team members. If you were on the call, you can get on and you can tell your team members that they are welcome to also register for the party.
Absolutely.
Now realize though that there are times. You have to choose a time when you're going to come, because we can't have a couple thousand people here all at the same time. We do have it set up for parking and for big crowds, and you know, everybody knows my neighbors are ready for this, but you do need to sign up for a time, okay? So don't give up. If you go in the next hour and you don't see that you can sign up for it, realize that the web developers, it might take a minute for us to get the message to them, for them to turn it back on. So, but we will have until the end of today. Until what time? Okay.
I will turn it back off at 9 p.m. tonight, Mountain Standard Time.
9 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. You have until then. All right.
And it is officially up for you guys to grab that link right now.
Okay. So thank you for getting on, you guys.
I'm not gonna do it if it's at her home.
Okay. Okay. Well, thank you so much, you guys. Thanks for getting on. We are so excited to get more involved and to get to interact with you better in these ways. Also, I would like input. If you guys would send me input, message me on my website. Can they do that?
That function is not up yet, but I will, with this recording, I'll put instructions on how to send an input.
Okay, because what I would like is I would like to know what is the best way for you. If there are recordings, is it easier for you to have an audio recording? Is it easier? Do you like the videos? Do you like the Zoom calls? Those are more informal. Do you like a webinar? We'll have some of all of those, but I would like to get feedback about what is best for you when training your teams, when trying to learn. All right.
And sorry, I wasn't being as direct. They can put comments on the video, so they could put their input on the comments, but it would be visible for everyone that is looking at the video to see your comments.
Which is fine. Yeah,
so
that's great too. Okay. Thank you so much. I'm seeing a lot of responses saying thank you for the videos and the webinars. You are welcome, and I'm excited about these. All right, you guys have a great day, and get ready for convention.